match on Saturday. Is there any sort of concern about the sort of workload for him, sort of playing more than one game in a week?
No. He can do it, but also Manu need to come back his born form. The game we played Manu against the previous one in Everton was not in the right rhythm, and we need everyone rhythm, and Manu played really, really good. And in the moment we read the second half what you should do, he increased his level.
There was some footage from the game in Copenhagen of you and John sort of discussing tactics on the...
Yeah, that's why I didn't play the next game.
Do you and him see the game the same way? Is he a sort of future man?
We know each other. I think after Gundogan was the first or second sign since I arrived here. So I think we just look each other. We know what we want, we need, and we know perfectly. So I would say I love it to share these kind of things for my players.
Hi Pep, when you talked about Akanji there needing the rhythm, and he played against Everton but not in the right rhythm, is there a difference between playing minutes and playing in the right rhythm? What is that? Or is it just because he didn't play?
No, there are players that take a rhythm more quickly, but Manu was injured for 2, 3, 4 weeks, and I rely on that. Manu is an incredible player, and now we decide to play. That's all. And as much games you play, more rhythm you have. That's normal.
And generally about the defending, because, like you said, since the Villa game, been the best team. But throughout the season, I remember I asked this a few months ago about the lack of clean sheets, and you said that you only concede 2 or 3 shots on target, and that's still the case. But there is still, going behind first in games, not keeping clean sheets. Maybe you win 3-1 instead of 3-0. Is that something that you see changing between now and the end of the season, or are you just going to have to push through and just try and score more goals than the other team because it can't be fixed?
No, we love to have clean sheets. All the teams want it. We are not exception. We want the clean sheets and concede few and no concede goals. We want it. But at the end, we want to win games. And sometimes you have periods that defending well, but you concede goals. Sometimes you don't concede. Never since I arrived, I was focused in clean sheets. The players knows it, we know it, but just try. I don't go to the players say, "Oh, I have to take clean sheet." You say just clean sheet. They forget to play. They forget just defending and forget what you have to do. And you have to do is play better, concede few and attack better and create more chances. This is all my target every time. Every time I make a meeting with them or prepare a game.
Is there a difference between conceding few chances but still conceding a goal? Like, what more can you do when you are conceding few chances?
It's happened. I said the average to concede few chances is the most important thing, my point of view. But at the same time, yeah. So when we concede few, we concede the goals, we have to improve it, yeah. So the goal is avoidable, and hopefully next time don't happen.
Hi Pep. Kalvin Phillips has had a difficult start to his loan spell at West Ham, a couple of high-profile mistakes and a red card at the weekend. He gave an interview a few days ago in which he said that when you said he was overweight, when he came back from the World Cup, that was a big knock to his confidence and probably the lowest point here. Is there any part of that you regret about going public about his weight?
Yeah, I'm sorry. Once in years is not bad, but I'm so sorry. I apologize to him. I do apologize, so I'm sorry.
And he says he didn't speak to you about that at all. Did you feel that you...
Sorry?
He said that he didn't sort of clear the air with you over that. Did you feel that...
Oh, no, I spoke about that, yeah.
You spoke with him about it?
Yeah, before I said to say, I spoke to him.
Right.
I never, before I said something here, I didn't speak with the teams, with the players in that case.
Hi, Pep. You've obviously got Bernardo Silva back now, and with Phil Foden and Kevin De Bruyne both playing very well, how difficult is that in the next few games to fit them all in to the same side?
Yeah, whenever it's fit and with this quality, always not easy. Always have to drop someone. Yeah, definitely, you can play 11. But they have to be worried and play as better as possible for the next games. So at the end, because I have a good players in the bench and can help us, like Bernardo did it in the last game, and the other players.
Is it going to be a challenge for Jack Grealish when he's back from injury as well, with so much competition now?
It depends on his form and his perform. Depends on that. So
what
depends
do you
on
make of his
him.
form before his injury?
We need time. If one player get injured after 10-15 minutes, it's because still it was not fit at all.
Pep, just what you said about Kevin the other day, about wanting him further forward. Is that for this season as you see it with the team, or is that where you think he will move as his career goes on?
What I've with Kevin in play position is 8 years the same. I never play as a holding midfielder. Defending deep as a holding midfielder. So what I said last press conference is what he has done during all our period together.
But he just seems to be sort of taking more time in the final third.
No. What I said in the press conference is Kevin has to play in the position he played during 8 years and a half being together. Nothing absolutely changed. Nothing. So of course he can help us. He runs incredibly, and when we defended, he helped us a lot. But I'm saying the positions like had to play. I prefer Kevin make a high presence up front and come back and doing close to the box. It's nothing said differently that all the period I played.
Do you see him moving further back as he gets older?
No.
Because it's quite normal for players to do that.
With me, no.
When you were a player, Pep, you must have had to deal with players sort of winding you up verbally in Spain, and how did you deal with it?
Sorry?
With players, with opponents who would wind you up, verbally, try and put you off your game.
Mope?
Like Mope, yeah.
Well, it depends on my mood.
Would you get involved though, and sort of say something back, or just ignore it?
Listen, I in my period in Barcelona, I am in the history. I have the record the most yellow card concede. He is as well as a manager, but he conceded, and all the time was for tuck. So it depends. Sometimes I control, sometimes being crazy. So the people say, he cannot control. As a football player, it was the same.
And would you have a word with Kyle just to say don't get involved before tomorrow's game?
I don't want it, but sometimes there's emotions and happen, and you know that. But of course, but it's for God. So it happened. I think they talk, and that's all.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yes.